nice warm tea for a very cold day. If you don't know what today is February 13th in Washington State, specifically around Seattle or so. It's particularly cold mainly because there is snow outside, and if you didn't know, snow is cold. Of course you knew.
It's cold.
Snow is cold. So to summarize this, I don't know. I woke up today feeling pretty alright. I didn't really have much to eat because I woke up almost late. I was on my way to work, and when I got there, I noticed that the people who usually open the store weren't there to open the store. I guess I got there a little earlier than them, but in this case, it probably would have been typical. But I got to the store. I called them because I had their phone number. I called them and I said, "Hey, are you gonna be in for work today?" And they said, "I don't know. The buses didn't show up. I don't know how I'm gonna get there. I'm not really trying to walk in all the snow." Mind you, this it's like 6 or 7 inches of snow right now. I probably right like it's deep. The snow, there's a lot of snow, but they were like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it in. I don't really have a way to get there." And so I told them, "All right, well, let me know if you're gonna be here. If you're just gonna stay home, then that's cool. I'll just head home. If you are gonna be here, then I'm just gonna stay here, and we'll be in the store together." But when they hung up, I had gotten a phone call from my boss, and they said to wait at home to hear back from the person who would normally open up the store. In that case, I was already at the store, and then they called me and they said, just wait home. And I said, "Well, I'm already at the store. I'm not sure what else to do. I don't really want to go back home." And then they told me that they're going to try to get a hold of the person who's supposed to open the store and everything. And, eventually they did. They texted them, called them, whatever. And then the person who was supposed to open it said, "You can go home. I'm just going to go to the store." And mind you, this person that I'm talking about, they don't have a car. They take the bus usually. They tried to call an Uber, but the Uber had some problems, I guess, so the Uber didn't really even show up. So I was there outside of the store just waiting for them. In my head, I really didn't want them to come. Like, it was a lot of snow. The only reason why I was able to make it was because I took the bus, and then even the bus that I was on, it got stuck like 3/4 of the way until my stop. So I got off of the bus and I just walked my way there. But it was fine. I was wearing boots. I had some pretty good layers on. I was pretty protected. I'm not sure how protected the my coworker was, but I knew that I was pretty protected and I could have made it through the snow. So my boss calls, and she's basically saying that she's gonna get in touch with them and then see if they can make it. And if they can make it, then we can open the store. But she wanted me to head home, and I said no. I'm just gonna stay out of the store. I'm gonna wait for the person. The person then texts me and says, "Go home. I'll open up the store by myself." There's a lot more context to this, but I'm just like giving the summary of the story. But they say, "Go home. I'll open up the store. It's fine. It's whatever." And I say, "No, I'm just gonna wait outside for you." So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then eventually my boss texts me. She says, "You can go home. So and so is gonna open up the store. It'll be fine. You can just head home. I don't want you waiting out in the cold." And so says, "Yeah, you can go home. I called an Uber, I'm trying to take the bus, whichever one." And they were even gonna walk, which I didn't want them to do, because it was snowing, it was cold, it was crazy. Like, obviously, you don't want somebody like that out there in the snow. But eventually, they say that they're just gonna stay home because the Uber was having some problems, it messed up or whatever. They had texted our boss, said they couldn't make it, yada yada yada, a lot of snow, a lot of danger. And my boss says if it was her, snowstorm's no big deal. But in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, no, it is a big deal, because even right now it's like 2, maybe even 3 o'clock, and it's still snowing, right? Those 6 and 7 inches could easily turn into like 8 or 9, maybe even 10 inches worth of snow, and that just makes it more dangerous. The buses got stuck, some cars got stuck. It's just crazy, to think that you, even as a boss, right? Even though you want to make money, make profits and whatnot, and then keep your stores open and everything, you're willing to risk employee lives for that. And I think that's pretty messed up. The whole point of this story is that I just, in that moment, I was kind of upset at my boss, right? Most things I just really don't give a shit about, because fuck it, whatever. But in this case, it was worse. I just, in my head, I didn't want my coworker to come. I didn't even want to come into work, but I still did because I knew I could make it. I know my coworker. I didn't want them to like have a hard time making here to work. Whenever you're going to work, if you're not having a good time going there, then you're not gonna have a good time there. Nobody was gonna be in the store at all, so I really didn't see why we would have, or should have stayed open, or even opened at all for today. Nobody was gonna be in the store. Overall, it was just like a weird type of thing. Because when they called me, they said they want the store open because it seems professional. And to me, that just sounds like they want to make money. Like whatever dollar bills they can make from that day, they want to try to make. And don't get me wrong, I'm fine with that. If my boss wants to try to make as much money as possible, that's fine. If they like raise prices to the highest they can be without like making it seem unreasonable, I don't care, right? That's fine. It doesn't matter to me because I'm just an employee. I really just care about going there, working, getting paid, going home. That's all. That's all that really matters. I'd say that I'm a pretty simple man at the end of the day, but it just sucks to think that like my boss, in their mind, they probably thought like, yeah, it does look professional opening even on days like this, showing people that no matter what happens, we'll be open, professionalism and everything and all that. I get that. I understand that completely. But at the same time, it was kind of hard to put up with the fact that they knew very well that this person who was trying to make it to the store, number one, didn't drive. Number two, had problems with their Uber. Number three, buses were getting stuck on the road. And I swear there were probably some buses that were stuck on their way to get wherever their bus stop was. And number four, like it was just overall dangerous. It was still snowing pretty hard. The wind was still blowing pretty hard. It overall wasn't a good situation. And my boss, from what they sounded like they were more concerned over profit, over the safety of another person. And that's what really bothered me. I guess they thought if I can make it, then anybody else could make it. It's not okay to put people out there where they're not as comfortable. It's not okay to have people, risking themselves for what, like $60, $80 maybe? It's not worth it. It's not even half worth it. You're risking your safety and your health for a measly $80, and if you get hurt, you multiply that by like 5, 10, and that's how much you're paying to get yourself checked and see if you're okay. It's not okay. It's not cool. At the end of the day, I was mostly just annoyed because my boss wanted to try to stay open as far as business goes, when really we shouldn't even have considered the idea of coming in. My boss drives, it's fine. But maybe if it was them, it probably would have been better. But as it stands, with the people that we have now and the certain limitations that we have, and them knowing these certain limitations and these people, I just didn't think it was a good idea. Other than that, it's gonna be the end of the video. This was a stupid video. A stupid, idiotic video. There was no real meaning behind this other than like prioritize your health and safety over, something that may or may not seem worth it. Personally, I didn't see $80 worth, getting hit by a car because like they spun out or something, right? I don't know, maybe I value my life a little too much. Maybe I value it a little too less. But at the end of the day, that's going to be it. If you're watching this at the time it comes out, then stay safe out in the snow. Don't take too many risks. Take the necessary precautions. And if you know that a situation is dangerous and you know that you can avoid it, I would say bite the bullet and avoid those dangerous situations. Worry about them at a later time. But that's it. Yep. Okay, bye.